He likes breakfast sausage and summer sausage. I've got a way that we can do this in the smoker and it will be great and simple. We're going to start out with High Mountain Seasonings and we're going to do the Country Maple blend this time around. What I have today is antelope, and if you're going to do the sausage with wild game, you'll want to put 30% of pork in it. So what I've done is I've gone to the grocery store and I've bought a pound of pork, and you put a pound of pork with 2 pounds of antelope. So we've got it all ground up. We're ready to go. Now the recipe calls for 1 tablespoon of the seasoning mix from the High Mountain stuff, but it says that a lot of people like to double it, and of course I do. I like the seasoning, so we're going to double ours, 2 tablespoons. Then you put 1/4 cup of ice water per pound of meat. So I've got a 1/2 cup here for 2 pounds of meat. We're going to mix it up, mix, and blend it up together really, really good. Now, we're going to use casings and the sausage shooter today, so once we mix this up, we've got to go ahead and shoot it. If you're not going to mix it up and you want to make patties or something, what you'll want to do is go ahead and make a tube of it, put it in the ice box, and it'll be ready for tomorrow. Make your patties out of it and have it for breakfast. So, we've got this all mixed up now. What we want to do is take our tube, wet our hands, take a little bit of the sausage, make a tube in it. That way you can get it down in the tube a little easier. Smush it down in. And you'll want to fill this up. Pretty simple. A little messy, but it's going to be a lot of fun. The kids are going to love making it too. Okay, we've got that filled. Now we're going to take some spray, and we're going to spray the end of the shooter, and that's going to help us put our thing on here. And you just feed it on and push it down on the thing. We won't go to the lengths of all of it. Get you a good sharp knife or scissors. Cut it off. Tie a knot in the end of it. It's a little difficult when your hands are sticky, but it's all going to be worth it. Okay, now we're going to stick the end on, put it in the shooter, load it up, and start squeezing the sausage out. Now, you make your sausages about 3-4 inches long, or whatever you prefer. Pull it out a little, twist it clockwise, then you're going to squeeze a little more out, twist it counterclockwise, and you just keep going until you have your sausages. Now, we're going to set this aside because I've already got some all made up here. And what we'll do now is, in the smoker, we have little hooks. We'll hang them up in the smoker, we'll get them all smoked, and we'll have breakfast sausage. I want to share a recipe with you, and it's elk peppercorn sausage. It's a summer sausage. And what we're going to do is we're going to start with 3 pounds of elk. We're going to add a cup of water. And in the other sausages, you don't use metal pan because with the High Mountain seasonings because of the way the cure works. This one, you're curing it with salt, and so it doesn't hurt to use the metal pan. So don't be worrying about that. So we've got our cup of water. We're going to do a teaspoon of mustard seed. We're going to do 1 tablespoon or teaspoon of black peppercorns, 3 tablespoons of quick and tender salt, 2 teaspoons of liquid smoke, 1/4 teaspoon of onion powder, and then we ended up with a teaspoon of garlic salt. Now we're going to take our hands, we're going to get all messy again, but we're going to mush it all up. And this recipe came from a very dear friend of mine that I used to work with, and she makes it every Christmas for her family and friends. And she always used beef, just ground beef, and you can if you want, if you don't like the wild game. We all have wild game all the time, so here we go. And all of my friends and family love the elk. So we've made it with all different kinds. Now what we want to do here after this is you want to work it really well so it'll stiffen up for you, but you'll want to make 5 equal balls. And once you get those 5 balls made, then what you'll do is we're going to take a piece of foil and we're going to make a roll. So you just mush it out on there till you make a little log. We'll roll it up, fold the ends. We'll put them all 5, it makes 5 rolls. We'll put them all in a pan. We'll take this pan, we'll put it in the ice box, and we'll let it cure for 24 hours. Now once it's all done cured, we'll put it in the smoker. We'll unwrap it from the foil because you want to get that smoky flavor in your meat. And it will hold up really well on your rack. So once you do that, you put it in the smoker, and then we have some already smoked I want to show you. Now what we've done is we've smoked this meat for at about 300 degrees for an hour and a half. And usually you go low and slow, but this sausage is to die for. And you'll want an internal temperature of about 160, 165 degrees. And on your woods, I used hickory on this, so it's kind of a personal preference. You can use the water, beer, wine, Coke, whatever flavor you want. So that's also a personal preference. So check the recipes on this DVD because this recipe and lots more are going to be there for you.